Hi, my name is Angelo from The Power of Repetition. And in this second episode of the channel, we're going to invite a special guest. Before inviting her, we are going to remind you what is the main purpose of this channel. So, we want to inspire and motivate people around the world that decided to leave home for bigger opportunities to follow their dreams and to achieve happiness. I have heard so many stories about people that land in other countries, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, US, and they struggle with different challenges, difficult moments. And this channel is specifically to share real stories, to hear how people navigate into these situations and how can they succeed through the power of habits. So please say hi to Sofia Arias. Hey, Sofia, how are
Hello,
you?
¿cómo estás?
Bien, bien. Please take a seat.
Thank you.
So, Sofia, thank you for coming today.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for
And
inviting me.
my pleasure. And in this opportunity, we're gonna ask you a few questions. I'm gonna start with I wanna hear more about yourself. Tell me a little bit about yourself and how and why did you decide to move to Canada?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm from El Salvador, so I came to Canada 7, 8 years ago.
Mhm.
I honestly didn't want to come to Canada, to be honest with you.
Okay.
It just happened to be that I wanted to go to school outside, like outside of El Salvador, and Canada was one of the options, right? So I applied everywhere: Spain, United States, Canada. I ended up coming here, and to be honest with you, I had no idea I was gonna end up here, but it's been great. Yeah,
How old were you when you came here?
I was 17.
Wow, super young.
Yeah,
So you made it by yourself or with your family?
by myself.
By yourself. So you finished your high school and you said, okay, I'm done with El Salvador. I'm gonna study somewhere else, and you decided to come to Canada.
Yeah,
Did you have other options, or Canada was kind of the only option at that time?
I had other options. I applied different places,
Yeah,
like United States. I applied to Mexico. I applied to Europe, like Spain and other places.
yeah.
But yeah, I ended up here.
Wow.
Yeah, I ended
Okay.
up here. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and when you first arrived in Canada, Victoria was your first city, right?
No, I arrived in Kamloops actually.
Kamloops, that's mainland, right?
That's the mainland,
Close
yeah.
to
It's
kind of
like 4 hours from Vancouver.
from Vancouver. It's close to Kelowna, right?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. So how long do you stay there?
4 years.
Oh, and then you moved to Victoria.
And then I moved to Langley
Langley and then Victoria.
and then Victoria.
Okay. So I want to hear when you first arrived in Canada in Kamloops, what was the hardest challenge you didn't expect?
When I arrived to Kamloops,
Yeah. To Canada
oof,
in general, what was the hardest challenge you didn't expect?
many things. Well, going back in time, I think like housing, everything like work.
Work,
I
housing.
knew I could work in Canada while I was studying, so that was
Yeah.
like a plus for me. But then I was like, I don't know anyone. I don't know where I'm gonna leave. I don't know. I've never done grocery shopping by myself.
You were
Yeah.
17, right?
When
And
I was 17 years old. Yeah. Yeah.
okay, housing. Um, how was the difference of the environment, the culture? What was the thing that you know shocked you more?
It shocked me more. Well, first, I think us Latinos were very warm,
Yeah.
like we're very like outgoing and all
Outgoing.
this. And here, I could see people were not like very. They wouldn't talk to you much and like very like on their own.
Very individualistic culture, hey?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like very individualistic. So for me, I was like, okay. And plus, like El Salvador is so warm, like it's very hot, right? So when
Yeah.
I got here, I'm like, holy,
Oh, it
like
was
he was,
super, super cold. And
yeah,
mainland Kamloops is colder than
it's
Victoria.
colder, yeah. So I was like, it was snowing, and I was like, nice that it was the first time that snowed, right? But
Yeah.
it was like I'm not used to this, so I'm
Yeah.
like, right?
Yeah.
But
So at the beginning it was like the first snow was like taking pictures, but then after the second, third winter, it was like facing the cold, right?
yeah,
How do you navigate the loss of identity and being lonely because you came by yourself
I give it myself.
and you were basically facing all this challenge by yourself and you were basically being another person. You were being another Sofia
Yeah,
comparing to the Sofia you were in El Salvador.
yeah.
So how do you navigate that specific part of your life, the loss of being, a Latina lady and coming to a different culture? How was the challenge?
Um, for for the culture, when it comes to like my identity, I think it was very uncomfortable, like very uncomfortable. I didn't know, like it got to a point where I'm like, okay, what do I want to do with my life? You know, like you just move here to study, but then it's like, okay, now I have to like figure out what I want to do. So I don't know. I was like, okay, I just had to like think about what I really liked, you know, like uh, what do I like? I started to like genuine, you know, like actually know myself, you
Yes.
know.
So you were like finding yourself.
Exactly.
You start finding
Yes,
yourself.
I started
Okay.
like finding myself. I was like, okay, what do I like? So yeah, I did obviously different things. Now it's, you know, like
Yeah. After 7 years, you kind
after
of get to
7 years.
you got to know you better, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. So at any point did you feel that you were disconnected from who you were back home, and did you at some point decided to want to come back to El Salvador?
Um, I did. I did in my first year,
Your
actually.
first year.
In my first year was the toughest one. Obviously, new school, new people, um, everything new, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So I remember calling my parents and telling them like, I'm going back. You know, I like
Wow.
after 6 months, I'm like, I'm going back. And
No.
I remember my, I think it was my mom. No, actually, my dad. My dad is like, yeah, you can come back. You know, and
Of
my
course,
mom is like,
your dad wanted you to be there, right?
and
Of
my dad's
course.
like, okay, come back, no problem, right? But then my mom was like, no, you finish what you start. And I'm like, holy. So I came to get a bachelor's. That's like 4 years down the line,
No. Okay.
you know? But yeah, and then obviously after I was just like, okay, whatever. I have to go through this tough time.
Yeah.
And even if it was tough, I just kept going and going and going and
And I
going.
think that definitely made you stronger, right?
Yeah.
Like facing those challenges by yourself, and being like 17 and facing a new culture, right? Far away from your family.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm gonna ask something like, what was the turning point? Like, what was the moment? Because you said in month six ish, you said, I want to be here anymore.
I don't
Want to
know.
go back. I want to just go back to my culture, my family. What was the moment that things starting to switch for you? That you said, you know what, I am gonna do this by myself. And when was your breakthrough? That you started to doing things and you were actually feeling happy and feeling okay.
Um, that's a great question. Um, you know, I think it took me probably like a couple years for sure.
Couple of years. It was a
Yes.
process. It wasn't like from one day to another.
No, no,
Okay.
no, no. It was a couple years because I started to, like you were saying, right, like building habits that would make me feel better, and then as I was getting to know myself more and more, I would like do different, like, you know, make changes and like
Yeah.
do this, do that. Like I did a study abroad. Like I left actually Canada and went to a different country that was not Canada.
Okay.
So I went
What
to
was
I
this
went to
country?
Spain. I went to Barcelona for a year.
Oh, you went. Oh, so in the middle of these 7 years, you went to
Yes.
Barcelona for a year
Yes.
to do what? Like to
It was a study
travel,
abroad, just
study abroad.
study for a year. Yeah.
Okay. And how was that experience?
It was
It was
amazing. It
amazing.
was the best year of my life.
Yeah, I have heard good stuff about that country. So, what were these habits that you start building when you were so young at that time and that were working for you?
Habits. So I started, I think exercise has always been great, you know, like
Yeah,
going to the
working out
gym, working out, because you're moving your body and genuinely like it helps your brain, right?
helps your
So
brain.
that was one of them.
That's free
Another,
dopamine, hey? That's free dopamine, yeah.
I've seen you at the gym
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I know that's good, you
Yeah,
know. Um, Gym definitely, like you feel so good after going to the gym and all this. So that was definitely one. Second, I started to like network,
networking,
right? So like networking was a
connections,
big one, like
connections,
connections here in Canada. Like you can go to so many networking events. There's people everywhere to talk to. That's another one. I met so many good people doing
connections.
that, like
Yeah,
connecting and all that. So that's a second one that I would highly, highly recommend
yeah,
because who you're hanging out with is who, you know, it's your future pretty much,
yeah.
right? So I did connect with different people that were growing and they were doing things I wanted to do. So I did that. And then I would say another one is just like the personal development, you know, like reading books.
Reading.
Like I never read back home, you know,
Yeah,
that,
of
I
course.
I hated
And now
it.
you were like reading like Tony Robbins books and people like you were like, okay, I admire these people. I want to learn from them. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm curious. the habits that you build at that time to the habits that you have today, 2026.
Oh, okay.
Because the channel is called The Power of Repetition, and we're here to inspire people. I want to
Yeah.
hear specifically what habits you have today, 2026. Because right now, also I want you to tell to the public what do you do today for work and for your personal
Yeah.
career development, and
Mhm.
what makes you be who you are.
Yeah.
What habits make you be who you are and makes you happy and makes you successful in your career and what you do.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, so I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I took business because it was the next thing to do. It's just like, okay, let's just take business. But when I graduated, I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna do a job, right? Which is like the next step,
Yeah, the
and then
next step.
PR and all that. But um, I actually started a business in finance, being my own brokerage. So, like,
Nice.
I'm actually a broker, and I help other people with financial education, and I'm really passionate about that, right? So, I started there. When honestly, before I started that, my habits were not that good. I would party a lot. I would
Yeah.
get together with people and like
There's nothing wrong with that, but you were kind of misaligned with what you wanted.
exactly. Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with partying. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
of
Like,
course.
there's nothing wrong with it, but it was like to a point where it was bad,
Mm.
where it was like every weekend,
Mm.
every day, like
Yeah.
very, very bad. So, yeah,
When was this, like
this was like the first 4 years.
the first 4 years? And then when did you start doing what you're doing now? And what was the turning point? Like you say, okay, enough of the parties, enough of this misalignment. When did you start doing what you're doing right now? And what made you do that?
So, wait, what was the first part of the
The first,
question?
sorry, the first part is when
When?
was the time
When
that
was
you
it like the turning
the
point?
turning point when you said, okay, enough partying, enough doing that. I'm gonna focus on my career, focus on myself. And what made you do that? Like, what made you realize that you have to switch habits?
That's good.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah. When I, when I started, say for example, after school, that's when like I think reality hits you, right? You're like, there's no more school. Like I need to actually like
yeah,
be a professional and all this. So I was like, so that's when I said, okay, what am I gonna do? And honestly, I didn't know what I was gonna do.
yeah,
So you just start applying everywhere.
yeah,
And later, like I remember someone reached out to me about this opportunity, but I think it was that just happened to, it just happened
yeah.
in my life because I was aligned with that opportunity. I remember I started to develop, COVID happened, right?
COVID happened. Yeah,
So I think that was like a wake up for me as well because I was like reading a lot. I had nothing to do in my house. So I was like, okay, let's read, let's study, let's do something, right? I was so bored. And then slowly, like step by step, like 2 years or 1 year after COVID, I remember they reached out to me
they reach out to you, but you were
and
doing all the things necessary to have that
exactly,
opportunity.
exactly,
Okay,
yes.
so most likely that opportunity wouldn't knock your door before because you were not aligned with
I
that.
was not aligned. I was not ready probably to even take something like that, right? So yeah, I think it prepared me, and that's when I started. That was I think 2 years ago
2 years
when I
ago.
started,
Nice,
and then yeah, I've been doing that since. So
nice, nice. So that's very powerful. So what I'm getting is you're saying that most likely before you were not aligned with what you wanted, so the opportunity wasn't there. But then you start doing the right things, the right habits, the right things in your career, in your personal life, and
yes,
then the opportunity came to you.
yeah,
Yeah, that's I have experienced that in the past in a couple of times. So
yeah.
yeah, so I got a couple of more questions for you.
Mm,
So this channel is to inspire people that have been in these difficult moments, challenge, and they are kind of facing, like some sort of sadness or homesick
I know.
or feeling like, why did I come to Canada or to the US or Australia, and they want to go back home. What recommendation would you give to these newcomers, immigrants, and struggling, and what they could improve with better habits or mindset? That what habits or mindset do you recommend me to follow in order to be better and okay and more competitive and feeling okay and feeling happy in this journey?
Yes. So I think very important because at the end of the day, you're growing, and growth is not rainbows and sunshines all the time. It's gonna be hard. It's
Yeah,
gonna, it requires effort. It requires mental toughness. It requires all of that. So you're gonna build mental toughness. You're gonna get stronger if you go through tough times, right? So
true.
if you're going through that right now, it's okay, you know. I would have told
No pain, no gain. No pain,
exactly,
yeah.
no pain, no gain,
No
right?
pain, no gain.
I would have told that to myself. It's like, okay, don't worry. It's like going to the gym. That's how I see everything, to be honest, because I've been going to the gym for years and years. But every time, for example, my legs hurt after a workout,
Yeah,
I won't. It's not that I will stop going to the gym. It means they're growing, right?
yeah.
My legs
Your
are
your
growing.
your muscle is growing. Yeah, it's building.
Exactly. My muscle is building. Same idea with the brain.
Yeah.
With your whatever. With your like mental toughness and your strength. Just keep going. If it's tough, embrace it.
Embrace it.
you know.
Accept that there's gonna be challenges. Accept that it's
Yes.
gonna be problems. Okay,
Yeah,
that's a
and
good
then
recommendation.
that down the road you'll be a completely different person. Like, because I always think about it like this. It's like probably the things that I'm going through right now, I wouldn't have gone back in my country, gone
Absolutely.
through, right? Yeah,
Yeah, you will not face the same challenges because you will be in your comfort zone. Yeah,
exactly.
I think with most of the people that I talk that have already passed the struggling part,
Yeah,
everyone agrees that moving to another country has been the best thing that's happened to them.
yeah,
And I can relate with that. Like,
yeah,
I don't think that the Angelo of 2026 will be this Angelo if I will stay in Peru.
yeah,
I think definitely that person will be totally different,
yeah,
because here, with loneliness, with challenges, and facing so many awkward situations, you start building yourself,
yeah, 100%.
even when you want to or not, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
um
amazing.
Final, no, two more questions.
Okay.
What would you do differently, and what would you say that you will avoid repeating, or what will make you save some time, or save some bad experiences? What specific habit or specific action would you just skip?
What I would skip?
Or what would you do differently? Like, I'm not saying that you have to regret.
Of
regret
course, yes.
regret is a very bad word,
Yeah.
because regret means that you just, it's like a painful experience, like it's a painful thing to tell you. But I'm talking about what would you do differently to make your life easier, better, or you will do everything exactly the same.
Hmm. Hmm. That's a great
Yeah.
question. Because if I would do something differently, mm, you know what? I wouldn't actually change anything. Maybe if I were to probably just like change something like about my not about myself, but like tell myself, like my younger self, would be like stop caring too much.
Stop
Like
caring too much.
yeah, I would tell her like stop caring too much about like other people's.
Don't take life so seriously. I mean,
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
go, do what you want to
Yeah.
do, focus on your goals, and don't care too much.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
don't worry. Like
Yeah.
it's
It's gonna
life.
be okay.
Just
It's
worry.
life.
Don't worry. Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
you
Why
know.
will be life without problems? Right? Imagine
Exactly.
everything will be perfect. It will be so
Yeah.
boring, right?
I know. I know.
And
So
final question: if you can give one piece of advice about one habit,
one
you
habit.
have to pick one habit to the public, to the channel, to the people that is facing these people are facing these challenges and difficult moments. One habit that you suggest to keep doing every day to carry on and just go through the journey of being an immigrant, a newcomer in a new country.
One habit
Yeah, I know you have said before
to do it every
exercise.
day.
Exercising, you said, okay,
Yeah.
got it. You have mentioned, networking, communication, community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Connections, and you mentioned also personal development,
Yeah.
reading books and working on yourself.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But you have to pick one habit that you would recommend these people.
You know. Mm, I think I would recommend. I know it sounds like it's not like it's hard or anything, but like it's so important. Like if I go back, and I think of like what do I do every day, I think like how you talk to yourself is very important, right? Like how do you talk to yourself? What do you say to yourself? I would say just like tell yourself good things, like I don't know if it's called like affirmation, self talk for
Yeah,
sure, but like I would say that is going to take you way far because most of the people are just they keep telling themselves like, oh, you're this, you're
Self
fat, you're bad, you're this, you know.
self punishment, self sabotage. Yeah.
Exactly, and that just takes you to a very bad place, because at the end of the day you're like your worst enemy, right? Like
Yeah.
your head and all of this, going through these
Yeah.
problems, oh, you're so this, you're so weak, right? So I would say, but like maybe when you're going through a tough time, or even if you're not going through a tough time, just be like, I'm so strong, you know.
Be kind with yourself.
Be kind with yourself.
Be kind with
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
No, that's very powerful.
Yeah.
Being kind with yourself, positive self talk,
Versus
always talk nice to yourself because you're your best friend.
yeah.
You are the person that is gonna be with you forever,
Yes, exactly.
right? And also
So
the story you have about yourself.
powerful.
The story you have about yourself. How do you have that narrative of who you are?
Mm-hmm.
Because imagine you have a bad picture of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
How horrible would it to wake up every day and say, "Oh my God, one more day."
Yeah, and most people
A lot
think
of people
like
have that.
a lot of people have it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's important to mention that is a way to turn things around.
Yes. Yeah.
You can switch the story, you can get momentum and get to a level when you say to yourself, okay, enough of self-sabotage, enough of,
Yeah.
you know, talking poorly about myself. And now I'm gonna be kind with myself, take care of myself,
Yeah.
say positive about myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And I
yeah,
know it might be a little bit. I know it might be a little bit hard to just like suddenly I was so negative yesterday, today I'll be so positive.
I know.
But even if you start with like one thing a day, in the morning, just look at yourself in the mirror and say like, you know what, I love you,
I
right?
love you.
Or just be like, I don't know, like throughout the day, like you do something and you realize you're being like punishing yourself. Just be like, hey, it's fine, it's
Yeah,
okay. Like I
that's
made
right.
this mistake, you learn from it, you continue, right? Like
Yeah,
don't beat yourself so like too
yeah.
hard.
Just be kind with yourself, be positive, and talk kindly to yourself.
Mm.
Positive self talk. Okay, Sophia, thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
well, thank you for your time.
Thank you
Appreciate that.
guys.
Thank you. Bye bye.